Hello again. This is Kelly Street with AttorneySync, part 2 of our local link building strategy video. And this is going to go more into advanced strategies. And of course, once again, I am joined by Brian Barwig, who is a digital strategist with AttorneySync, and also local SEO expert. So love getting his opinion on this stuff. So hello again, Brian.
Thanks for having me again, Kelly.
Yes, and if you'll notice, we are wearing the same clothes if you checked out part 1, and that's because we're recording it on the same day. Little behind the scenes. All right, let's get into strategy. So we did basic, we talked about directories, associations, sponsorships. What is the first step that you do after you put that initial plan in place? What's the first thing you go after?
So we then usually, once we get the foundation set, what we try to do is do some more creative thinking, some creative campaigns. So there's various different ones that we've come up with, but I don't think I'm giving any secrets away when I say that lawyers love doing maps and heat maps and things like that nowadays. A couple of reasons they work, and people love to look at data, right? So once we do that, we create, we'll create let's say an accident map for Chicago. We're in Chicago, so we'll do like an accident map of dangerous intersections or places where cars are crashing into people or something like that. And then from there, what we'll do is we will promote that, and we'll try to get that to as many people as possible. So we'll look for advocacy groups, maybe safety groups, MAD if they're Mothers Against Drug Driving. If it's a sort of a drunk driving piece, or we're seeing a lot of hit and runs and things like that. But we try to break down the data as much as possible to see if we can come up with a compelling story to reach out to the community with. So if we find something like, say that there's a lot of accidents on such and such intersection, we will look into that, check it out and see what's going on with this intersection, whether some of the accidents do we need, is there a potential for us to reach out and maybe start a campaign for bike lanes in that area, or is there something like, do they need street lights or stop signs, or kind of just try to figure out what's happening to give a little bit more behind the story to kind of push that out. And then from there, we'll reach out, like I said, to advocacy groups or safety groups or, other bloggers in the city that have been writing about the same thing. We will try to reach out to news organizations, newspapers, radio. And again, sometimes some of these aren't your typical link building strategy, I guess, especially if you're going for the radio. But again, that's kind of, building the overall impression of the lawyer, helping that reputation, understanding what they do in the community. And then, the obvious benefit there is if you can do that, get a link on the website of those news organizations or radio stations, and maybe even get a guest blog there as well.
Yeah, diving into the kind of PR side of things a little bit, and even offline marketing along with your online marketing.
Yep.
Yeah, and the other thing this makes me think of is, so we only work with one client per practice area, per geographic area, whether it's zip code or county or that sort of thing. And this is exactly the kind of reason that we do that, is because if we had one personal injury law firm in, one zip code in Chicago, built a heat map for them, and then had another client who wanted a similar tactic, we would have competing strategies for the same client. Like, you can't do that with your local SEO. So just made the connection for me.
Yeah, but it's not ideal.
Yes. Yeah. You're taking business, some business away from one of your clients and giving it to another.
Right.
Yeah. Aside from that, what is the second strategy or next strategy that you would put in place?
So another one that we do is similar, kind of in theory, to a map or a heat map, but we would create resource pages. So resource pages for the law firm. So let's say that they are a criminal attorney in Chicago, let's say. With that perhaps that we want to have the lawyer come off with a good impression in the community as well. So yes, maybe they are a criminal attorney, which could have negative connotations, you think. So what we'll try to do is every once in a while we'll create a, for instance, like a substance abuse resource guide for people in the community. So not only are we trying to help that community and then bring awareness to that as well, but we're trying to help the people within that community who may have some substance abuse problems, right? So if you have a criminal lawyer, they're defending, typically criminals or people with DUIs or things like that. But let's get to the root of that problem too. And, if there's somebody with multiple DUIs, let's say, perhaps that there's a substance abuse issue going on there. So let's try to help them out in any way that we can. Again, creating another, positive image in the community for that lawyer. So with that, then, so we would create a list of, anybody who can help. Maybe there's, whatever sort of substance abuse, is in that community, let's say. So we'll add all of those to a resource page, and then kind of do outreach from there. So the outreach would be, again, kind of people who are interested in this, people who have been blogging about this. Perhaps there's, some news organizations or magazines or, something like that who have been doing things. Not only do we reach out to those people, but then kind of going a little bit beyond that, we will reach out to the people that we actually put onto the resource guide and say, we created this excellent guide for the community and we think that you do a great job, helping people who are addicted to opioids, let's say. And we wanted to recognize you on the website. So if you can check out this website, here you go, you're listed here. A lot of times they'll write back and say, oh, great, thanks. This is a great resource for us. Happy to be here. And then we would follow up with that and say, can we do a guest blog for you? We'll do, we'll put this on your website. You don't even have to do anything. We'll just, basically a fluff piece for that particular opioid place, let's say. And most of the time they don't turn that down because it's free for them. It's a fluff piece for them and it goes on their website. And what we'll do is we'll drop a link back to our resource guide into that. So that's a link for the law firm while we do that.
Awesome. So how long do some of these strategies take to put in place? Like say you have an idea for a resource page, building it out, getting all the links and kind of building relationships that you're talking about.
Yeah, so the creation of the piece itself usually doesn't take that long, especially if the law firm or whoever our point of contact is quick to respond, right? So sometimes that's an issue, but if we have some good response times with that, we can probably get a page created in about a month or so, a little bit less, and then begin outreach for that. The outreach is what, that's going to take the longest. So we usually try to do a couple of rounds of outreach and follow-ups and things like that. So I would say probably the whole process from start to finish or start to just about finish is probably about 3 months or so.
All right, so not too bad.
No, not too bad.
Yeah.
It's quite the process though.
Yes, a lot of work on our end.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, there's so much more we can talk about. We'll have other future videos later on about Google My Business and that sort of thing, because you're an expert in that area too. So thank you so much, Brian.
I appreciate it, Kelly, and I look forward to the next videos.
Yes.
I'll work with close.
Sounds good. Maybe we'll just quick change. Thank you everyone who watched, and if you want help with your link building strategy, head over to AttorneySync.com and contact us to take a look at the work that you are doing. Thank you so much for your time.